me. All right, so I haven't written in a few days. I'm neglected, so I'm going to hopefully uh, do a writing live stream where I stream for at least an hour. That's my goal. But we're also expecting a storm, so providing my the internet doesn't get knocked out or something like that because of the storm, um, I'm hoping to go for at least an hour because I need to catch up on my writing. Um, and so you might hear, the storm, going on. Also, we have a dog upstairs who doesn't really like storms, so you might hear her. She's fine, I promise you. But yeah. Anyway, let's get going. Let's see. Um, Pepsi. Prefer Pepsi. Hang on, I gotta look some up now. How is your character develop going? Not well. Like I said, more than likely I'll have to put them in a later book because this one's pretty much fleshed out at this point. I'm sorry. Um, let's see. No, screw you, phone. Um, uh, you know what? What muscles are used during a caber toss? Mm, rectus abdominis. What? Uh, hmm. No, I mean, so yeah, believe it or not, a lot of times I actually have to do research as I'm writing. Why do I only like? Um, blues. Whatever. It'll be all right. What am I writing about? So I'm actually started a new series. It's a fantasy series, so it's about. Uh, I know they say you shouldn't give this, sort of thing away, but I mean, so it's about a elf barbarian primarily. Okay, now because think of this. All right, so elves. Okay, this is how I came with the idea. Elves are, very civilized and agile and, stuff like that. And barbarians are, well, not. They're not civilized. They're not agile. They're very reckless and chaotic and stuff like that. So I'm like, that could make for an interesting character concept. A elf barbarian, combining these two worlds. And it actually initially started out as a D&D character concept that I came up with, but never actually got the opportunity to play out because I'm stuck being the forever DM. So I'm like, well, I might as well make this into a story. In fact, I'm actually going to read some to you real quick. I put in the dedication for this book. Hold on, let me go find it. Um, okay, so for the dedication, I said, this book is dedicated to my wife, Andrea, who helped me write all the romantic scenes. It is also dedicated to the forever DM who have held on to a character concept for their preferred tabletop RPG that they'll never play because they're stuck being the forever DM or the forever GM. This is your sign to turn that character into a book like I did. So I got tired of just sitting on this character concept, so I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna just turn him into a book. So, oh, and they're also bisexual, so because why not? Um, but yeah, if y'all have any questions, by all means, ask them. I would love to answer them. I'll look up at the comments every now and again. Um, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this stream, even though no one was really watching it yet, so we're actually expecting a storm, so you might hear some storm noises and stuff like that. But just be forewarned. And hopefully, it doesn't take my internet out. Otherwise, this stream is over. I'll still get to write though, as long as it doesn't kick out the power. But if it takes out the power, then the internet's gone either way. Anyway. All right. Um, So that's competition. Experiencing, participating in. I don't know. See, although he did attempt to mimic some of the stretches, he saw his competition partake. Yeah, partake. And let's go with that for now. I can always change it later. This is just the first draft. I don't know. Would be him. I'm struggling tonight. I really am. Although I still believe there's no such thing as writer's block. Um, writer's block is a myth because in order to get over writer's block, there's actually a whole video on this I saw once. But yeah, in order to get over writer's block, all you gotta do is give yourself permission to write garbage. And I'm trying to do that, but I'm like, some of this stuff, because your first draft, which is what this is supposed to be, or not supposed to be, but it's expected to be garbage. And still trying to come up with something to put down, even if it is garbage. I'm still struggling. So, because I need more detail, but the details are not coming to me right now. You know, and I'm trying to go for at least an hour because it would be my longest stream yet. Now I'm at 13 minutes 38 seconds. Holy crap! I got a long way to go. Oh, hi, cat. That was my cat. She's down there somewhere. Um. Oh. Pretty bad, I think. Um, No, I am not Michael from Kentucky. I have never been to Kentucky. Um, kind of a well, funny story you reminded me about though. So my author name is N.J. Franco, which I came up with because my first initial plus my middle initial plus my last name, N.J. Franco, and I used to spend a lot of time on Reddit, and I had an account called N.J. Franco, and people would ask me, they'd be like, "So, what part of New Jersey are you from?" I'm like, "New Jersey? I'm not from New Jersey. I've never been to New Jersey. Well, I may have driven through New Jersey, but I'm like, I'm not from New Jersey. I've never lived in New Jersey. So why a lot of people think I'm from New Jersey?" And then it occurred to me, NJ is the initials for New Jersey. So I guess people saw my name and thought, "Oh, New Jersey Franco" or something. But anyway, because you mentioned Kentucky, another state I've never been to, got me thinking about New Jersey. But anyway, now I need to look something up again. Okay. Also, hey, if y'all hear, so I've mentioned this a couple times again. I'm going to mention it constantly throughout the uh, live stream. So we're expecting a storm. So one, you might hear the storm, but two, also my dog is upstairs freaking out. So if you hear her, she's fine, but she's probably just gonna, because I definitely hear her. She's basically right above me. Anyway, This is very nice. Well, thank you. See, hold on. Never seen a writing live stream before. This is motivating me to want to write now as well. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, and actually, something that I mean, I get it because like I watch a lot of YouTube, of course, a lot of I'll watch a lot of videos on writing or a lot of videos on people doing talking about books or something like that. And usually after I watch like one or two videos on writing or one or two videos on books, I then all of a sudden get the urge. I'm like, you know what? I need to write. I need to go work on my book. Or if I watched a bunch of videos of people talking about other books, I'm like, you know what? I haven't read my book in a while. I need to catch up on that. So I get it. Watching a live stream or watching a video or whatever about whatever thing, of course, puts you in the mood for that. So I get it, and I'm happy to help. And again, if you hear my dog, she's fine. There's a storm. I'm gonna keep on saying that several times throughout the stream for new people coming in and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully the storm doesn't knock out my my internet. Otherwise, hey, stream over. If the storm knocks out my power, well, that also, so if the storm knocks out my internet, that's the end of the stream. But I can at least still write. Now, if the storm knocks out the power, that's also the end of me writing. But it also knock out the internet, so no stream either way. Anyway, let's see. What are some writing channels I follow? So, honestly, I, I, I basically just show, I don't really know that many writing channels by name. I just will be like surfing through like my recommendations, and I'm like, oh, here's something that looks interesting. I'll watch it, and I'll not even have any idea what the name of the creator is. And like a lot of times, I'll see the same creator. I'm like, oh, I've seen this person before. I don't know what their name is, but I'll watch this video or whatever. And same with a lot of the BookTube content that I watch is. Yeah, and I'm subscribed to some people, but again, I don't remember their names. I just see one of their videos show up in my subscription. And I'm like, oh, hey, I like this person. Let me go watch them, So I'm sorry, I wish I could help you with that, but yeah, I don't really pay attention to the names that much. Um, uh, oh, thank you. Um, Now, so I should admit, I primarily make book content. I do a lot of like book reviews and stuff like that, and I've started doing like monthly TBRs. I'm what I'm reading each month and stuff like that. That's primarily what I do. But now that I am getting back into writing, because I have written a couple books, I took a break from it for years. But now that I've gone back into writing and I have something more to talk about, I plan on talking about writing more. I'll still primarily be a book review channel, but I will talk about books from time to time. But hey, thank you for the subscription. I just want to let you know I'm still primarily talking about the books that I'm reading on this channel. So, oh shoot, I forgot how to map. Damn it. Yeah. So it's 5. Mm, oh, actually, like I said, I promise you, my dog is fine. It's just a storm. What am I writing? So, um, I've started a new fantasy series. I'm hoping to turn this one into a saga. Um, but so it's about a elf barbarian. Okay, because so this actually started out as a character concept for D&D. Okay, I wanted to play this for Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm unfortunately stuck being the forever DM, so I never get to play characters I create. But anyway, so I came up with this idea. I started thinking, oh, and I just realized I'm wearing my D&D shirt from Hellfire Club, Stranger Things. But anyway, um, so I started thinking, okay, uh, elves, are very civilized and um, like agile and stuff like that, and barbarians are not so much. They're very chaotic and not civilized and stuff like that. So I started thinking, I'm like, uh, how interesting would it be to take elves, which are civilized and plan things out and are agile and whatnot, and made them a barbarian, which are chaotic and just love chaos and are uncivilized and whatever. So in so yeah, I thought combining these two in a way polar opposites into one character would be interesting. So like I said, I wanted to make them a Dungeons and Dragons character, but after years of keeping them in my head, never really got to play them. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm stuck being the forever DM. I need to just turn them into a book. So that's what I've started doing. And I'm close-ish. About 2/3 done with my first draft. So it's coming along nice. Gonna have lots of rounds of edits and stuff like that because this is not the first book I've written. Um, so I have, for the most part, figured out a method that works for me, and it's a long, drawn out thing. But yeah. Anyway, um, uh, oh, thank you. That's such a cool concept. So thank you. I appreciate that. Um, and I'm not gonna read it again, but something I mentioned earlier in this stream is how again I mentioned that I was stuck being the forever DM and whatnot. I actually partially dedicated this book to the Forever DM, and I'm like, this book is basically your cue, or this is your sign. If you're stuck being the Forever DM, like I have been for so long, this is your sign to take that character concept you've been sitting on forever for whatever your preferred uh, tabletop RPG is, whether it be D&D, Pathfinder, whatever, and actually finally turn them into a book like I did. So, or well, like I'm trying to do right now. It's not completed yet. Um, so hold on. I have to check my notes on something now. Um, so right now, my character, the barbarian, is participating in a caber toss. Um, if y'all don't know what that is, it's a Scottish Highlander game thing. But I figured, hey, this big strong guy, this would be the perfect thing for him. Anyway, I found this video on how to um, throw a caber, and I need to watch it again real quick to remind myself. Was this it? Damn it, not what I wanted. Oh well, I'm gonna have to go off of memory. I'll find it later. It's what other trash are for. So hold on. Actually, no, squat. Not bad. You don't want to squat. Hold on. Nope, that's not what I want. Damn it. Mm. Yeah, lots of typos. Dang, almost out of tea. Um, My cat is on the table, so you might see her walk into the camera. She almost did. I shooed her away, though. I don't know if you heard her meow. Probably did, but anyway. Just heads up, you might see a cat. Hey, Majora, get over here. Let me show you to the. Nah, she doesn't want. Hold on. Hold on. How you doing? No, come here. Just for a second. Here. Here, got my cat. She doesn't like being picked up. I know. All right, I'll sit you down now. I just wanted to show the people, Anyway. Um. Love cats. I love cats. I love cats. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say anything else like that because I want to get. When it comes to am I a cat person or a dog person, I'm most definitely a cat person. Just leave it at that. Probably gonna be ending the stream somewhat soon because I wanted to see if I could have it go for an hour, and I'm currently at 53 minutes and 52 seconds. So I'm gonna at least still hit the 1 hour mark, but my wrists leaning on this laptop, I don't know. I'm gonna need to take a break soon, but I at least wanna. I'm gonna write a little bit more though. Um, come on. Mm, yeah. No, don't end the stream. You're helping me write. So wait, are you writing like right now, or or are you? I don't know. I might stick around. I just wanted to do a stream for like an hour. Um, but, and hold on. Supernova 0666. Yes, I am writing a book. This is actually my fifth book that I've written. I haven't written in a couple of years, but I decided to pick up a project that I shelved a couple of years ago and finally finish this thing. Um, hold on. Pull up. Uh, oh, that's so cool. I'm also writing a book. What's the book's called so I can read them? I'm a big reader. So, actually, hold on. I'm right back here. So, starting off with my military memoirs book, believe it or not, that's me. It's a collection. So it's the mostly true stories of some idiot P.O.G by N.J. Franco. It's a collection of short stories based off of my time in the military. Um, this I mostly just wrote as sort of like a bucket list thing. Um, yeah, it was just something like while I was in the army, I'm like, I should turn all these stories like into a book, and then once I got out, I finally did. So this is more of a bucket list thing. Uh, my Pride and Joy series, though, is the Dathen Legends trilogy. So book one, Mortal Gods. Book two, the 13th Dathen, and book three, which came out this year in March, Mortal Gods. So yeah, all those are currently available, and actually there should be links to all of them in the description box of, well, when this video goes live, or when this, because yeah, when the live stream ends, it uploads to you know. Anyway, there should be a link in the description box below to this video, or you could also just go onto my profile. There's a link tree that you can check out with links to all that as well. Uh, Well, I feel like I've seen them somewhere before. I mean, you know I've been talking about these books for years, and um, I made a lot of shorts on them for a while. I was on TikTok for a short while as well. Maybe you saw them there, but yeah, no, I've not been shy about sharing or talking about my books at all. Um, let's see. Damn it. Although one thing writing books has taught me is I'm a lousy speller. Thank God for spell check and Grammarly. Anyway. Nope. Oh. Shoot. How do you spell commemorative? Piece of writing advice: do not be ashamed to ask Siri on how to spell things. Okay. I mean, I'm willing to do it live, so I mean, you should be okay with asking Siri how to spell things, when you're writing, privately. But yeah. You have a question about publishing. All right. Well, I'll do my best to answer. If it's a question about traditional publishing, I can't really help you too much. Independently publishing and hybrid publishing, yes. I've not traditionally published before, so I can't. I mean, I know a little bit about the process, but like I don't know how to quarry or anything like that. I know quarrying is part of the process. I just haven't done that before. So, um, well, honestly, most of my books are through. Well, so I would go with independently publishing if you want to. All right. So there's three types of publishing. There's traditional publishing, independently published, and then hybrid, which is kind of like in the middle. Traditional publishing, if you are able to get a traditional publisher to, you know, say yes to publishing your book, which is really hard to do. It takes like constantly sending out letters and querying, and I hear traditional authors talk about it all the time. And I when I hear about it, I'm like, yeah, no, to heck with that noise. Um, but if you're able to get them to say yes, they basically take care of everything for you. You don't have to pay for squat. Um, they'll take care of the cover art. They'll market it for you. You don't have to do anything. They'll just do everything for you, and you can just sit back and collect a royalty check. And then there's independently publishing, where you have to do everything. You have to either make your own cover art or pay someone to do cover art for you. You have to, find someone who's willing to edit your book for you and stuff like that. You got to pay all these people to do that stuff for you. But the good news is you keep most of the royalties, because some I've heard is uh, traditional publishing, while they do all the work for you, they also take like 90% of the well, not royalties. They take 90% of the what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Profits. They take like 90% of the profits from the book. While with independently publishing, you take almost 100% of the profits. Now, my recommendation on who to go to, so I would recommend going independently publishing. Um, and I would also recommend going with KDP, which is through Amazon. If you're, I know a lot of people don't like Amazon, which I get it, but I would recommend going with KDP and Amazon. Anyway, uh, yeah. Well, I mean, all right. So the comment says I wouldn't get traditionally published because I've heard that they make your book covers more boring though, and I mean I can kind of see that. So I know a lot of people are going to give me a hard time for this. Okay, for what I'm about to say. So this book, this was traditionally published. This is actually just a picture I took of me a long time ago, and put some text on it. But I made my own cover for this. These books I went hybrid publishing, okay? And I know a lot of people are like, don't go hybrid publishing, it's bad and whatever. And I'm starting to realize they may have been right, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so when I went hybrid publishing with this series, I had already in mind what I wanted my covers to look like, okay? And so I sent the email. I'm like, oh, this is what I was thinking, whatever. And they went way off, like not even close. Like it's like did you even get my email? So this is nothing even close to what I wanted my cover to look like. And I'm like, it's very like abstract and boring and whatnot. And they're like, well, we've been publishing for years and we know what the market wants and this, that, whatever. So trust us, this will sell. And I'm like, all right, if you say so. I mean, yeah, y'all have been publishing books a lot longer than I have, so I guess you know something. But I also read a lot of books, and so I know what kind of covers would grab my attention. But anyway, um, so I feel like a traditional publisher, when they make a more boring book, they're like, oh, or a cover, they're like, well, we know what sells and whatnot, and people who actually read the books, like myself and you and whatnot, are like, yeah, no, we want whatever publishers. Um. Anyway, all right, I think I'm gonna add that there. So what genre do I write? So with the exception to my military memoirs, which is a standalone thing, I write pretty much exclusively fantasy because I read pretty much exclusively fantasy. Although I'm trying to branch out of that a little bit more. Got into so yeah, I write exclusively fantasy. But as far as what I read, I'm trying to branch out from um, not reading just fantasy. I read a couple of Star Wars books because I love Star Wars. So I'm like, let me get into sci-fi a little bit. So I've read uh, Star Wars to get into sci-fi. I've read a couple of romance novels just to see what the hype is about. Because my wife sees into romance and whatnot. I'm like, well, let me see what this is all about. I'm not a huge fan of like scary movies or scary books or horror or anything like that. Um, but this October, I'm gonna give uh, some horror books a chance. Like um, now, all right. So I've never read a Stephen King book, and absolutely nothing against the guy. I massive respect for Stephen King. I just he writes in a genre I never really cared for. But this October, Halloween, I plan on reading Misery. So, you know, trying to get into other genres as well. See. Then I would probably like it. So modern day romance sucks, but old school romance books were much better. Um, I read fantasy and sci-fi and some romance. Well, only like one series. So I've been reading. Oh God, what was it? So the only. Oh, that's my cat. So the only romance or like bona fide, like straight up romance I've read was what was it? Uh, Pumpkin Spice Cafe by God, I can't remember her name. Um, and I'm probably gonna here, let me go on Amazon for a second. Or no, I don't need to go on Amazon. Meow. It's my cat. Cat's back. Um, by Lori Gilmore. All right, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. Here, image looks like. Move out of the way, laptop. I'm basically done with you. So, um, I've been reading a lot of cozy fantasy. Okay, that's what I'm really into. And I saw this, and I thought, I'm like, oh, this is probably another cozy fantasy. No, it's not. It's a small town romance, freaking Hallmark, that sort of thing. And so I've read this one. I read sequel, the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, and yeah, it's my biggest issue is like in both books, the male love interest, he's buff, all right, and I get it. It's supposed to be like this fantasy, and most women are into buff guys and whatnot. And even for the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, the male love interest, he's a farmer. I'm like, okay, fine, farm hands, they're probably pretty strong. I get that. But the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, and I've reviewed both these books. So if you want to get my full thoughts on these, you can find my video reviews on these books somewhere on my channel. But the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, okay, the male love interest is a chef, okay, and he's spends most of the book, perfecting a pancake recipe and whatnot. And I'm kind of like, this guy is also really, really buff, okay. And I'm kind of like, look, okay, have you not ever heard the saying, "Don't trust a skinny chef"? Okay, because I'm like, and I brought it up to my wife. She's like, "Well, it's a fantasy. It's playing into women's fantasies, and they like buff guys and whatnot." And I'm kind of like, yeah, but like, if a buff guy made me some pancakes, I wouldn't want to eat them because I wouldn't trust that this guy knows anything about pancakes. You don't trust a skinny chef. So, yeah, the chef also being buff just doesn't seem realistic to me. And I'm considering reading the rest of the books in her series, but I have a feeling that them and probably every romance book, uh, the guy's gonna be buff, and I'm like, that's and yeah, and so as I've mentioned in a couple of my videos before, and I'll mention here again now. So I'm bisexual, okay? So I find some men interesting or attractive as well. So while I can't speak for all women or really any women, the fact that I don't find buff guys to be attractive. So because I don't, I'm sure that there are plenty of women who don't. So romance needs to have non-buff guys in there as well, and hopefully there are some. But I haven't found any yet. I want to read the romance novel about the guy with the dad bod. Give me that, okay? Because that's what I got right now. I got kids, so I got the dad bod. Give me the story about the dad bod guy love interest. Anyway, I'm a woman and I prefer women. I mean, you know what? It's fair. I've actually again, I primarily do book reviews. I've actually reviewed a couple of lesbian fantasy books on my channel. Let's see. So, uh, Lessons and Lattes. God, brain. Um, I'm picturing the cover. Halfling's Harvest, Bookshops and Bone Dust. So yeah. In fact, I'm starting to have some I've started to do on my channel is have a monthly TBR and be like, this is what I plan on reading this month. And I've started to do themes. So it's June, Pride Month. So I'm like, all right, this month I'm gonna read a bunch of LGBT books. So I'm reading Our Rogue Fates, um, The Sun and the Star, its sequel, Court of the Dead, and what was the last one? Oh, Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. Anyway, uh, but I was thinking, I'm like, come September, okay, I'm like, I could have Sapphic September, okay, because I'm having like, audiobook August, nonfiction November, so I'm like, okay, I'll have Sapphic September, okay, and Sapphic is like, um, not specifically like lesbians, but the way I'm understanding it's like just an umbrella term for like feminine LGBT people, so lesbians, femme passing, non-binary, trans women, that sort of thing. And I'm like, so I plan on reading a lot more of that type of stuff in September because September. But anyway, so I should probably go ahead and end my stream. I'm done typing, and my jaw is freaking killing me from talking. So everyone who has come and participated, stuck around, watched for a while, and commented and whatnot. Hey, thank you so incredibly much. This is hands down my longest stream yet. I'm at 82 minutes and 49 seconds, so almost an hour and a half. So, but thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. So, anyway, y'all have a good night. I'll probably be streaming again. Tuesday, Wednesday night, maybe. I got plans tomorrow, Sunday night, Monday night. So maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be writing some more and I'll stream it. We'll see how that goes. I also got some videos I'm gonna be shooting later on this week. So more of my regular video content because I haven't uploaded in a while because it's a thing. But yeah, so there'll definitely be more from me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching.